Right, so welcome to our preview class. This is Finex AI and Data School. Our focus in Q1 in 2026 is to explore how we can analyze data with Excel and Power BI, and then also how we can use AI tools. In this season, we are going to focus on Google's generative AI tool called Gemini and how we can take advantage of it to work smart and save time at the office. So just to put this in context, we've had 20 of these workshops in the past. The last one ended in December. This is the first edition in 2026 for this quarter. So we are running it for 7 sessions. Now, what we want to do is to introduce the class to you. So this is more like an open class, a way to help you understand the content of the things that you've signed up for. Then we'll give you an opportunity to ask your questions. We'll go through how we are going to learn if you are signing up online or in person. We'll also demonstrate the tools. So for some people, when we say analyzing data with Power BI, how does Power BI look like? How do we install it? If I'm a beginner, is this something I can learn? How do we analyze data in Excel, right? So all those questions that hang on your head before you start the first class, we want to take advantage of this session to cover all those things before the regular class starts next week. And that is why we have this preview class. So I'm going to introduce Finex Skills Hub. So I'll talk about Finex Skills Hub, who we are. I'm sure most of you have read our brochure, seen our website, and probably visited our YouTube channel, but there's more to Finex Skills Hub. So I'll go through that. I'll talk about our history, okay, our vision and mission, and then introduce what is new in this particular edition, okay? Then you meet the team. So you meet your teachers, those who are going to handle the various modules, and then I'll also introduce the agenda. So the session is going to be approximately 2 hours so that we can actually close early and then come back prepared for the sessions. So hopefully you come along. We'll have a session for all questions. So please feel free, note your questions, and then once we open up questions, you can ask your questions. Right. So about us, we call ourselves the Digital Skills Training Hub. What we always say is that we are committed to this mission because we understand and we've experienced that for what we learn in school, especially at our tertiary institutions, and what we use to work when we graduate, there's a gap. I'm not too sure whether that gap has closed a bit now, but there is still that gap. When we are in school, we are obsessed with our degree in such a way that what we normally think about are the theory. So if you get your first class, you get your second upper, it is important that you manage the skills that come with it as well. So often when people graduate from the universities, what happens is they turn up at work, at their banks, at their various organizations, and we notice that what actually can help you add value, work smart, improve productivity are the simple tools that we ignored, right? So data analytics, business presentations, financial modeling, right? And other soft skills. These things you have to learn on the job. If you are lucky and your organization takes you through training, yeah, that's fine. But what if you don't get opportunity to go through training? So what we do is we have dedicated ourselves to continuously research on the skills that we think can help people work smart and save time at the office. We started as a financial modeling community. We were mainly teaching Microsoft Excel for financial modeling, Excel for work, and data analytics. But along the line, we've transitioned into other areas that we find relevant for industry. So right now, it's not only Excel that we teach Power BI, we teach low-code app development, we teach currently AI tools for productivity as well. So if you have been following the Vibe movement, you notice that the way we work is changing. So in the last 3 editions, we have been exploring how to take advantage of AI tools like Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT. This season, we want to focus on Gemini because there's a lot of things in there that can make you work smart. So essentially, for Finex Skills Hub, what we are trying to do here is to bridge that gap with digital skills training, right? So if you see us online or you watch our videos, that is what we've dedicated ourselves to do. Right. Now, why should you choose Finex? There are other organizations doing this. We think that the market is big enough and they are also doing a good job. But what we have tried to do is to make the learning experience very, very effective for our students who sign up. We don't just do training. We call our training sessions workshops, okay? Because you'll be required to practice what you learn. I get most people asking, would I get a certificate? Yes, you get a certificate, but you earn the certificate. It's not a certificate of participation. On this call, you have our old students here. They will tell you that after the 7 sessions, you'll be given case studies for you to practice and build on your own. And that is where the learning happens, right? So we will do it in such a way that you are not just grabbing theory, you are practicing and be able to apply it to your work, right? So you are joining a workshop community. That's the first thing. All our facilitators are certified. So you are going to get people who have the financial modeling certification, people who have the Power BI certification. In fact, what we have even done is that we have also certified ourselves in Gemini. Gemini has a certification as well, right? So we have certified Gemini trainers as well. What we try and do is we pass through the experience so that you can also go through what we have experienced. We pass that experience on, right? You are going to join a network of learners from various industries. And this is intentionally done. We try to make sure that we bring in students, we bring in workers from various industries. Because if our class is just filled with accountants, it's not going to be fun. If it's filled with only engineers, it's not going to be fun. If it's filled with only workers, it's not going to be fun. So what we do is that every season, we give scholarships to students, national service students, graduates, I must say, and then regular students in the university to enrich the learning. So on the call, there are students and NSS personnel we've intentionally brought in so that their energy can also carry with the old bones. And the old bones will also rub their experience off them, right? So we carefully blend our audience so that the experience is rich mutually. We give you flexible online and in-person schedules, right? We've done this since 2019 when COVID started. So before COVID, we were meeting in person only, but COVID taught us a lot of things. So what we decided to do was to test our hybrid teaching. And in fact, that's worked perfectly. What we will do is that we'll admit you to a Google Classroom. Now that Google Classroom has all your resources. So when it's time for your class, you join, We ask you to join with an extra gadget. So it can be your phone or your tablet. That way you can get the video feed in a separate tablet or gadget so that you have access to your laptop to work. So you are not switching screens or windows and get distracted. You get the idea. You are going to be taking the video feed with your phone or tablet. In some cases, I've seen people even project on TV, right? Then you have your laptop, and the pace is going to be very slow so that everybody can practice, right? So whether you join online or you join in person, it's the same experience, but just that people have their preference. Some people want to see the teacher. Others want to learn from the comfort of their homes. So we make it possible for you to switch in between. In any case, if you join in person and you change your mind, you can go online, vice versa, right? So we give you that flexibility. As I mentioned earlier, you have access to continuous learning resources. The content we are creating, this one, which is being recorded, is going to be saved in your Google Classroom so that you use that as reference. So when the class is ended, you have Monday to Friday to go and fill in every gap that may have come up when you were learning. And these videos are yours forever, right? So you can have access to them when you even complete the class, right? Beyond that, if you practice and then you pass your capstone, you join our WhatsApp alumni community. People ask, would I get a job? Yes, you will get a job if you prepare. Because of what Finex Skills Hub does, most organizations and employers come through us to recruit. Okay, so people reach out to us, can you get me a data analyst? Can you get me a financial modeler? And our alumni would confirm that we put these job vacancies on the page. And then if you are qualified, you apply and then you get a job. Most of our alumni have gone through the process and secured jobs. So if you are game and you are ready, this community allows you to also get jobs even after you've completed. Right. Now, our history, we started as a financial modeling community. In fact, the picture you see there is one of our early classes. We used to meet at the University of Ghana. Earlier, we were meeting at BAUM, and then we moved to the Cons department. And thank God, we've moved to our permanent site here at East Legon. So that picture is in black and white as one of the pictures in our gallery when we started. So when we started, we were teaching heavily financial modeling. We are accredited training providers of the Financial Modeling Institute in Canada. In fact, through that experience, we trained over 40 financial modelers. That program is still active, just that we've taken a detour because of the developments in the AI and data space. We'll bring back financial modeling because we see that a lot of people are still asking, right? So for us, that's how we started. And by God's grace, we've evolved. After 20 sessions and workshops, this is where we are, right? So that is about us. Now, Finex Skills Hub, as I mentioned, our vision is to create an army of digitally savvy students and workers. What we hope to do is that if there's anybody who is excelling at the office or doing something wonderful online or creating dashboards and those things, we want the person to be identified as a finance person, right? So we try and expand our community, our tribe, so that we get a lot more of people who are digitally savvy and can impact using some of these skills, right? Our mission is to be able to bridge the skills gap between academia and industry. I mentioned that already, with hands-on training in digital skills. Now, to achieve this, every year we set the target to train at least 400 skilled workers and students online and in person. Why is this possible? We don't only teach with Finex AI and Data School. We have other communities, right? So mainly, we run these three communities. The first one is our pro bono project, which we use to support girls. We call it Excel Our Girls. We've run 2 sessions already. The goal is to do our corporate social responsibility, if you like, and then empower girls between the ages of 16 to 25 with low code data analytics, app development skills. This is sponsored by members in our community, but we are also open to corporate sponsorship. So if you have some money lying down and then you want traction for that money, you can become our sponsor. Normally, when we advertise, we get over 200 girls applying. We select 20 of them and then we train them over a period. Okay, so that is one of our pillars. Then we have our students in data analytics program. This is a project we run at the universities. So again, we try and empower these students before they even come out. This is also a pro bono project that we use to help our students. And what you are joining currently is our Finex school project, where workers come to us and then we train in these tools. Okay. We also teach corporates. So if your team wants us to come to the office and then teach, we can do that, but we require a minimum of 5. Okay, we come and then we do an intensive 3-day session for your team. So if you invite us, we'll come and then we'll get it done. Right. So these are the channels where we teach. We also have online portals. I'll introduce them at the end. Now, what's new this season? This season, beyond our data analytics with Excel and data analytics with Power BI project, we want to deep dive into this AI tool called Gemini. For some of us, we were introduced to ChatGPT when we started. Yes, ChatGPT is good, but Gemini also serves its purpose. So we are going to explore why Gemini has, if you like, a slight advantage over ChatGPT, right? That is our focus. The idea is that with Gemini, it is built around Google's productivity apps, right? So think of Google Spreadsheets, Google Docs, Google Slides, being empowered with AI. So that if you are drafting, you are calculating, you are building slides and presentations, these tools are like your co-pilots. Microsoft has its own generative AI tool that also behaves like Gemini called Copilot. We covered that 2 seasons ago, right? What we want to do is to explore these tools. So this season is a Gemini season. We want to see how we can take advantage of it and then build our skills with AI, right? So that is what is new this season, right? Now, let's meet the team. So it's not only Bernard. So this is Bernard when I was younger. So I'll be teaching some of the classes, and then other members of the team who are equally capable would also take some of the sessions, right? So our logistics person who helps us with organization and all that operations is Osbert. So Osbert works in finance at AT, Airtel, Tigo, right? So for some of our facilitators, they are also workers. So they are not only teaching theory, they are also applying their work to what they teach. There's Ferdinand, the Excel guy, you'll hear him shortly. So Ferdinand works here at Finex Skills Hub, also a consultant. So Ferdinand is a Microsoft certified trainer, an advanced financial modeler. So the AFM is the financial modeling certification we got from Financial Modeling Institute, right? So Ferdy handles mainly the Excel program and other coding VBA stuff as well. So you can reach out to Ferdy for some of these projects. Then there's Daniel. Daniel is a chartered accountant. Daniel is also an advanced financial modeler. He will be taking some of the Excel classes as well. So Daniel also is an advanced financial modeler, as I mentioned earlier. So that is the first set. Which one? This one? I didn't want to go into that. So let's take the AFM, and the AFM is the advanced financial modeling. All the things you are seeing just means that we have qualified teachers. So all the acronyms and abbreviations just means you have qualified teachers, right? Then our next set is Priscilla. Priscilla is also an advanced financial modeler. She is an Azure data scientist. So I'll be teaching the Power BI class with her. She works as a software developer at CBG, right? So that's Priscilla. And this is Ernest. Ernest Abuaje is also an advanced financial modeler, a SIMA fellow, associate, I don't know how that's program, yes. So he's a chartered management accountant, currently joining us from Georgia, Atlanta. So he's been there pursuing his studies. And then we have Na. So Na will be joining us for the Excel and Power BI class as well. So Na is a financial modeler and valuation analyst, also very heavy with the SQL and AI side as well. Then we have Dewinga. So Dewinga is also an advanced financial modeler, a Microsoft Office specialist. Dewinga is very heavy in the financial modeling space. He has a farm, a digitized farm. So we don't only teach, we are entrepreneurs as well. Yes, so Dewinga will be coming through as well. And then our baby last is Solis. So Solis works with One Africa in the financial markets, right? So this is our team. You'll be seeing them as the session starts, okay? Now, this session is just to introduce who we are. So whatever notes you have, please write them down. I'll take all your questions, right? Now, the agenda for today is we want to introduce what the courses mean. Some of you have heard data analytics. Some of you have heard Power BI. You have heard Power Query. These things, before you even come to day one, how do they look like? So we'll cover the modules and then give you deep dive, right? So today, most of you brought your laptops. You practice small so that you get a feel. Then after the class, we'll discuss licenses and that the Power BI desktop is free. Actually, those who are signed up for Power BI, the installation is free. So we'll show you how to download the software. Okay. Which kind of Excel version will be suitable for the learning? We'll discuss all that. Right. Then we'll discuss logistics. How do we learn? If you are joining us online and in person, what is the timetable like? Okay. So we'll go through the timetable, how you get your codes to sign up for the class. All those things will be discussed. And then finally, we'll take your questions, right? So that is the program for our preview class. I hope you are all ready. Fantastic. Okay. So let's start. I want us to begin by breaking down what we call business intelligence and data analytics. They can be used interchangeably. But why are we here? Why has this thing become suddenly a popular area? Because back in the 90s, when you were in IT, it's like coding and programming and all that. But suddenly people are talking about data analytics, BI. What is it about? So we'll try and break it down, okay, to make it easier for you to understand what you are signing up for. If I'm a beginner, is it something I can learn? Yes, it's something you can learn. It is no more the preserve of IT people, right? So please take away that notion. We'll talk about the typical career path, right? If you are a nurse and then you want to switch and become a data analyst, where should I start from? I've seen most people do that transition. My cousin was an engineer, heavy in the telco sector. And then she decided to go into the data analytics career. In fact, she gave herself a year. And right now, she, in the same telco space, she's passed the exams, she's created her portfolio, and she's now in their data analytics department. If you want, you can. Are you with me? It's not too late. I know those who are paying school fees think life has caught on, but it's never too late. Even at 50 years, you can make the shift. Okay. So we talk about BI in Excel, BI in Power BI. By now, you should know that BI means business intelligence, right? And then finally, we'll conclude with AI on BI. It sounds very poetic, but you understand what we mean by AI on BI. Right. Right. So let's break it down. What is business intelligence? This is an old chart. I'm sure a lot of things have changed now, but let's be realistic. If your job is repetitive, if it has low judgment, it's predictable, it's rule-based, right? These four things I've mentioned. Your job is predictable, it has low judgment. Low judgment means like you don't really think a lot to get the thing done, right? It's routine, it's repetitive, okay? These are the kind of jobs that AI is coming after. But don't panic yet. I don't think AI would necessarily take over human jobs. What will take over your job is your colleague. That's your other person, the human being, who has learned how to use AI to add value to what they do. Please, are you with me? So in whatever space you find yourself, leverage AI to add value to what you do. Right. Now, some of these jobs are already under threat, but we are not panicking yet because we, the human beings, we want to take advantage of it. So technology-driven roles, well, some of them are under threats. In fact, I've had an experience that most of our people in the US and UK now, even those in the IT space, are now struggling for work, right? Most of the areas that they could now be employed in have been taken over by AI. So take, for example, if you wanted to build a web app, those times you had to do line by line coding. But now AI has introduced something we call vibe coding. So vibe coding is you prompt a build, So with natural language, you say, build me a website with this landing page details. We'll build it for you. Build me a back end, build me a user authentication and all those things. These things are not possible, right? So if you are in that space and you are not anticipating how these things will affect your job, then you'll probably be caught off guard. So the earlier, the better. So what we are trying to do here is to introduce you to how you can leverage AI to work smart before you are caught off guard. That's essentially what we are trying to do here. So the roles that are going to be affected, clerical roles, data entry, administrative assistants, cashiers. Yes, we don't pray for that. What we pray for is that these people maintain their jobs because they know how to add value to what they do with AI, right? So this is a World Economic Forum report. It's like almost a year old, but I'm sure a lot of things have changed from this point. Now, what is business intelligence? If you cast your mind back, most organizations in the late 90s and early 2000s only had a block and mortar version. Most of them, if you needed to come to their office, you had to go and queue. Case in point, GRA. Those times, to file your PAYE, you have to go and queue, present your papers, somebody will stamp it, and then give it to you as your returns. It was the same thing with SNET. For SNET, you have to go there, queue, verify, somebody will stamp, and then give it to you, and then you bring and file it. In the last 2-3 years, these government agencies have digitalized. They've gone online. So now you can actually go to the portal, GRE, ghana.gov.gh, file your returns, and in just like 5 minutes, you are done. You know what that means? What that means is that now organizations, because they've gone online, are now generating more data. So there's more data being generated in the system than what used to be created 20 years ago. So for the statistics, they say we are averaging about 40,000 times what we used to produce. What that makes us think about is that because there's a lot of data now, we need more data analysts. And that is how come the concept of data analytics has become very important. Because every organization is now generating data. Every organization has an app. Every organization has a bot, something that is interacting with customers in the digital space, which is leaving at the back end a lot of insights. But how do we get the insights when we don't have the skill to analyze the data? So you realize that 10 years ago, job vacancies typically will not advertise data analysts. But now when we look into the graphic, we are now advertising business intelligence experts, data analysts, and all those things are now coming through, right? Right now, it's just gone beyond even data analysts and BI, because most organizations are now advertising for digital marketers. That is the era we are in. If you don't change, we are leaving you behind, right? So the point is that data analytics has become a core skill. It has become something that even if you are not in IT, you are required to be able to do that. Another issue is that in the past, when big organizations, take EcoBank or any of the big shots, wanted to know their performance, they will go and then make a request at the IT department, and then they will now take their time, spool the data, analyze it, and then present it. These days, we don't do that anymore. These tools have created something we call self-service. Self-service means that on your own, you can launch Power BI, get in the data, analyze it, and then create your dashboards. You can launch Excel, get in your data, and create your financial dashboards. So you don't rely on IT anymore. And that is why these tools have now become almost like on the table for everybody. So if you are seeing AI or data analytics or business intelligence become popular, it is because of the nature of our business models now. Most models have become digitized, and that is why we are here. But first, let's explain what business intelligence is. What is business intelligence? It's basically relying on historical data. Most organizations have a lot of data sitting in their servers. The data describes what happened and why it happened, who bought from where and at what price, right? So for the data that we have stored, which is in the past, we will take this data, analyze it, and then get insights from it. That is what we call business intelligence. So think of it this way. Anything that has to do with analyzing historical data to get insights for decision making is called business intelligence. If you are in a competition with the same organizations in your market, the organizations that uses business intelligence is likely to outsmart you. Are you with me? So business intelligence looks at the past. But now we are not only doing business intelligence, we are doing prediction. We are not using the historical data just to make decisions, but also to predict what is likely to happen. And that is where the data analytics bit comes in, right? So data analytics has a wider spectrum. It covers historical data and also deals with what is likely to happen based on the trends we have discovered from the historical data, right? So we say that when it comes to business intelligence and data analytics, yes, both of them are about understanding data. But while BI helps businesses make better decisions by looking at the past and current data, data analytics goes beyond business intelligence by finding patterns and making predictions using various methods. So please, the tools that you use, Excel, even now has a built-in Python module that you can use for predictive analytics. Power BI also can be used to create prediction based on what you have analyzed in the past. So BI and data analytics go hand in hand. While one is looking in the past and present, the other is taking the insights and patterns to tell us what is likely to happen in the future. Please, I hope you are clear with this. Now, so BI deals with what we call descriptive and diagnostic. Descriptive tells us what has happened. It describes what happened. Diagnostic will tell us why it happened. In fact, when we analyze, we are able to pick the drivers, what influenced a certain outcome. So if you made profits, which particular product? In Power BI, they have AI-enabled visuals called key influencers and decomposition trees. If I make profit, I'm able to work backwards to see what actually drove that profit. So I'm not just interested in we made profits, we clap for ourselves. Maybe that product you have discontinued was the one that was driving the profit. These tools in Power BI are able to tell you that it is this particular product or branch or salesperson who was able to drive that profit. Please, I hope you are clear. Then, when we come to the data analytics part, we now deal with predictive. We now have an opportunity, a foundation to predict what is likely to happen, and then even control or manage how we can make it happen, right? So descriptive diagnostic analytics, predictive prescriptive analytics, all these can be fairly captured under data analytics and business intelligence. Please, I hope you are clear. Fantastic. We'll be practicing very soon. So this is what we call the Gartner Magic Quadrant for analytics and business intelligence. Somebody is asking, why are we heavy on Power BI? Why are we not doing Tableau? Why are we not doing Python, SQL? Yes, all those are good. But we think that if you look at in the BI space and data analytics space, Power BI has consistently been in a comfortable lead. Yes, Tableau is good. It has good visuals and all that. But if you look at the full capability of what a business intelligence tool should do, Power BI has it. Business intelligence and data analytics is not just about visuals or charts. You need a system or tool that is able to clean data, be able to transform the data, be able to build formulas that you can use for analysis, all these in one space to make it easier for you. We think that Power BI has that. And that is why, for us, we've been teaching Power BI for almost the last 7 years. Okay? So we think the Microsoft tools, Excel and BI, Power BI, are in a comfortable lead. Yes, in the future, we may consider Tableau and other platforms. But if you see what we've done with Power BI, you understand why we actually align with the Microsoft tools. There are other ones, Google Looker Studio and all the Sisense and the others are also doing a good job. Right. Now, let's take the career path. If I want to be a data analyst, where should I start from? There are different career paths. You can become a business analyst. In fact, when you see most of the job vacancies, you realize that they sometimes advertise for a business analyst. Who is a business analyst? He's somebody who just doesn't know how to analyze data, but understands the business model. Okay, so they're looking for somebody who applies the business model to the data analysis that he or she is doing. Okay, so sometimes beyond your ability to analyze data, they will list some proficiencies that are required. Maybe in the finance space, in the hospitality space, and all those things. You should be able to apply that business model with your data analytics skills and then become a business analyst. So if you see a job vacancy for business analyst, yes, you can build yourself around that, apply yourself to an industry, and then make yourself marketable in that space. Another channel or route you can use is to become a pure data analyst. So the pure data analyst is interested in converting raw data into relevant and meaningful insights. Okay, your job is to ensure that you design and build scalable data models for your organization. So for you, any data is good data. You take it, if it's customer data, you take it, tell us which customer we should pay attention to, right? If it's even in sports, our sports analysts, I'm happy that most of them are even now going into the data analytics space. So now in their discussions, you see them showing heat maps, statistics, and all those things, right? Data analytics cuts across all industries, okay? So analysts are responsible for profiling, cleaning, and transforming data. That is your second path. The data scientist, your job is to do the science bits, testing hypothesis. If this happens, would this happen? right? So in this case, you are not just using a small quantity of data, you are doing what we call big data, right? You are testing and then advising, you are predicting, okay? Now, for data scientist roles, you will be doing extra things like machine learning and all those things to make sure that you are grounded when you test and then you make predictions, right? I must say that if you want to be a data scientist, there are some extra things that you may want to do, especially using big data and machine learning. All these are parts that you can take. Now, the data engineer's job is to provision and set up the technologies that these guys will use, right? So think of it that if this guy doesn't build a structure, all of you may not have yes, you may not have jobs, right? So the data engineer sets up the data technologies. And these days, think of it this way. In the past, people were very heavy with networking and servers and those things. But now a lot of these things are now cloud-based, right? So you can also go into that space, ensure that you manage and secure structured data from multiple sources, right? So the data engineer ensures that data services are securely and seamlessly integrated across data platforms. That is another part that you can take. Then database administrator, you ensure that the data is secured, the right permissions are given, people who should access the data have the right access. You get the idea? So what's used to be information studies or information management studies, that kind of subject is now evolving into this space. Okay. So yes, these and more are some of the channels or paths that you can take if you want to learn data analytics. It's not cast in stone. You can take any of these paths, depending on which one aligns with you. Right. So where do I start from? Excel is a good place to start. That's the truth. As I'm talking, people are just dreaming big things. But trust me, Excel is a good place to start. I want you to erase that your impression of Excel, that you think it is a tool for VLOOKUP and sum. It's not just like that. That tool is heavy. You see it very soon. Why is Excel a good place to start? Because when you start with Excel, you are able to learn how to capture data, store the data, put it in a structured way, use tables, clean. All these things are possible in Excel, right? If you start and you find your feet, then you can build on and then go to maybe Power BI and Tableau and some of these BI tools, okay? So it will be good to start with Excel, get your foundation, and then you go into the other tools, Tableau, Power BI, and those ones. Now, okay. Okay, Fabric. Now, Fabric is an extended platform for Power BI. It was introduced some 2 years ago. What does it do? You know, I mentioned machine learning. Those times when we finish analyzing data, you have to go and bring an add-in from outside Power BI to come and do those extra things for you. What Microsoft has done is that it has now added an extended platform that allows us to do extra things like machine learning, big data analysis, and those things, and be able to even ingest multiple data sources, right? So look at Fabric as an extended capacity for Power BI. In fact, in your Power BI license, Fabric is now part of it, right? So you don't have to go and do these things outside Power BI. So Fabric is now an extended platform for doing deep dive data analytics in Microsoft. You see that as we start. Then there's SQL. Why is SQL important? As a language, SQL allows you to learn how to bring in structured data from a server, right? Think of it this way. Most organizations, especially the big guys, the banks, because data they work with is large, they don't store them in folders. They store them in cloud servers. These are secure spaces on-premise or in the cloud. if you are working with Power BI or Excel, you should at least understand how to query, we say, these data sources into your Power BI or Excel space, right? So if you want to make this a career, it helps to understand the language. Nothing heavy, just the ability to say, okay, get this data from here, summarize it this way, filter it this way before it lands in my space. Okay, so after you've mastered your Excel and Power BI, you may want to consider adding SQL to it. It's a good complementary skill, especially if you want to go into corporate, right? Because most likely any organization will be storing data in here, right? Then Python, right? Python is also very good because all that we have been speaking about so far is structured data. Structured data are the data sets that look like tables. But sometimes organizations deal with unstructured data. What Python gives you is it empowers you to be able to code and analyze data even if it's not structured, right? So it is good to have. I'm not saying that if you don't have Python, you can't be a data analyst. In fact, for most of us, even the first two will be enough. But I'm just giving you a picture for those who want to go far, right? Then in recent times, AI. In all these, it will be good to sprinkle a bit of AI on it so that you know how to take advantage of Copilot, Gemini, and some of these tools to build your formulas and clean quickly. Basically, that's what a path looks like. But it's not cast in stone, right? Here in step 2, you can replace Power BI with Tableau if you like, right? Python can be substituted with R. Okay, so all these are things that you can take. It's not as if you have to check all the boxes, but this is a typical learning path for those who are interested. Okay, now please open your Excel workbook. I think I've been doing a lot of talking. If you're online, please open your Excel workbook. Excel is don't worry. If your Excel has expired, you open it and appreciate. I just want you to appreciate the workbook.
If you have Google spreadsheet, can you open it as well?
Sorry.
If you're using Google spreadsheet, can you use it as well?
If you have Google spreadsheet,
yes.
Well, you can, but ideally, we prefer working offline in Excel.
Okay.
So kindly open your Excel spreadsheet. Now, the reason I've asked you to do this is just a minute. We want to do something practical. So open your Excel workbook. This is how mine looks like. I hope you can all see. Okay. Now, for your classes, you are going to start from scratch, right? Even though I've spoken about a lot of things, everybody is going to start from a blank Excel workbook like this. Why is this important? You learn that in Excel, when we start entering data, we enter it in a cell. So the cell is the basic unit for data entry in Excel. Then you transition to a range. A range is a collection of cells, right? Then from those cells, we store our data in what we call tables. Tables are very important because it gives us a structured way to store the data so that even if we don't use the mouse, we can still work with the content of the table. Now, I've asked you to open an Excel workbook because you're going to do an exercise. When we talk about business intelligence in Excel, there are tools that make this possible. Now, I do this exercise at every preview class. How many of these are familiar? Online, you can put, if it's 8/10, put 8/10 in the chat. If it's 2/10, put 2/10 in the chat. On hindsight, I should have done a survey so that I project it live, and then we see where everybody is. How many of us know about tables in Excel?
I have a question.
Yes.
So my thinking is that we're going to be taught Excel.
Yes.
Or is it the application of Excel in BI tools? Is it the
Yes.
Because I don't know Excel that much.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
So the question is, we are going to be taught Excel and then how to apply it to BI. That's your transition. So everybody will find their feet, navigate, use tables, data, and all that. Then we apply it to how to use it to analyze data, right? Now, to be able to analyze data in Excel, these tools are very important. There's tables, there's Power Query, dynamic arrays, Power Pivot, pivot tables, DAX. DAX is data analysis expressions. All these things I'm mentioning are in Excel. Cube functions, charts and slicers. Copilot is in Excel, and then Python is also in Excel. If you're a beginner, no fears. We'll carry you along because these tools are very easy to learn, and you see it in action very soon. So what we are going to do is, please, I want everybody to download this workbook. So go online and then put in bit.ly/FINEX. So you are putting this in the address section. Okay, for those of you who are here, the password is Finex or Finex@MTN. Sorry? No, the name of the Wi-Fi. So the password is Finex1234#. No, rather BOB12345.
Okay, Finex@MTN.
Yes, that's the name.
Okay.
Online, please connect and then let's do some exercises. Okay, so please, if you have the data, it's a workbook. So I'm saying that go online. bit.ly/FINEX DATAQ1. If you press enter, it should download a workbook. You have it. Good. So please open that workbook and let's do a little test so that we use it to demonstrate the things that you are going to learn. Right. So I'm going to put this in the chat for those who are online. Yes, please go ahead. Thomas.
Yes, I got only images when I entered the address.
Sorry, say that again.
I got only images when I entered the address, even though I am at all. I got only images. I don't know why.
Only
Different
image.
thing.
Okay, so
And
I
they
am
all related to Facebook account. So it's a
I've,
different.
I've put the link directly in the chat.
Okay, because
So please
I'm
use
working
that one. So just click on the link and then get your workbook downloaded. Images. How come? So
Yeah.
BIT like this.
Yes.
So this will come up. When this comes up, you go to continue to destination. Right? And then it will bring up this workbook. So this is the workbook we are talking about. So please, I have put the link in there. Let me see. No, don't use search. Put it in the address. In the address. Please, the link, put it in the address, not the search field. So bit.ly/FINEXDATAQ1, all in caps. Put it in the address where you type www. Yes, this is a preview class, but we want to warm you up.
So is it actually the finance items and this underscore extension? Is that what it is?
Yes.
The signal seems to be strong.
Yes, that's usually the same thing. Yes, yeah, yes. Okay, please have this on standby. Online, please give me a thumbs up if your data is here. Fantastic. So Gilbert, Ebenezer, Yvonne, Matilda, great. I guess we are all set then. Nee is also ready.
Unfortunately, I'll have to join something I do on fixed machine. I'll not use it.
Okay,
I'll have to join.
so then partner someone. Mhm. Okay. Fantastic. I see a lot of thumbs up. It means that people are on standby. Okay. Now, this is what we are going to do. Freddie is going to join me. And then we are going to walk through this data. Right? It's a very simple data. As you can see, nothing heavy. Now, let's do it this way. At a glance, what can you say about this data? What do you think the data is about? Online, you raise your hand, I'll call you. What do you think the data is about? Yes, Stephen.
Employees data, and I think with some salaries and other stuff. Okay, I can see 2 sheets in the workbook.
Okay, so employee data and then other stuff. So there are 2 sheets. Okay, so basically it's employee data. This is what a typical HR would collect on employees, right? So their IDs, their telephone numbers, their names, gender, age, the branch, their designation, employment type, the leave days, maybe they run shifts and all that is being put there. The account number and the bank is also there. And then the department they operate from. Are we clear? So that is the first set. The second set is basic salary. Again, can somebody describe this one? I know it has a lot of numbers, but what do you think is the story here? The first one was register. And this one is saying basic salary. amount disbursed, right? So the amount that they disburse to each staff according to grades. Well, I'm not seeing the grades though. The grades
Since they are not the same,
are the numbers. Okay. Okay, so the numbers. Thank you. So the managers are in the middle, as you can see. The big guys are here, right? That's right. That's where you saw your grades. Okay. Now, it's good you have identified what the data speaks to. Can you spot any obvious challenges with this data? You can see the data is not, something is wrong, something is off in terms of the layout of the data. There are a few problems with the data if you have eyes.
The lines.
Which lines?
Cells.
Oh, the cells there is my display.
the names and the contacts are together.
The names and the contacts are together. Yes.
On the employee ID side, it's not like in order.
Okay, so employee ID is not in order, it's not sorted. Good. Online, we had 2 submissions so far. Okay, from the comments, it's unstructured. Amount earned monthly by, okay. Yes,
I
Matilda.
think we can't identify the senior management and then like the grades. It should be in order to the lower level.
Okay, you think it should be in order? It should be okay. Okay. Some fields have been combined together. Matilda, yes. Okay.
The data is not complete, because some of the branches, it doesn't show any location where they are located.
Okay, so for some of the branches, very good. You have eyes. Some of the branches are blank. There's HQ here, and then you notice that they are empty. Maybe, maybe IT says that, no, this is a typical spooled data. Normally, when you go into your system and you download, things are not perfect. Are you with me? It's no fault of yours. It's just the system's way of rendering the data, right? But our goal is to learn how to fix these things using our good old Excel. And then answer this question. What is the breakdown of total salaries paid by bank? Think of that question. HR wants to know the total salary that they have paid to each bank so far. Please, are you with me? That's going to be our destination. But before we get to that destination, there are a lot of things that we need to fix before we get there. Okay. Freddie, are you here?
Hi, Bernard.
Okay. So
Good morning, everyone.
good morning. Welcome. So we are going to make this as practical as possible. And then the goal is to expose you to the process that will help us arrive at that point. Okay. Okay. So Freddie, you can share your screen now. It's B.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen. So what we are going to do is, first of all, I'm going to ask Freddie a few questions. Now, because of time, you will practice with Freddie for the first few activities, and then you go solo and then help us arrive at the answer that we were looking for. But in the process, show you what is possible. Okay. So, Freddie, this is the table that we have. First of all, Is this the best way to store the data? Freddy, you're muted. Okay. It looks like Freddy is having some issues with his mic. So while he fixes that, let me share my screen and then we go through. Okay. So let me share my screen, and then when Freddy is done fixing his mic, he will take over. Okay, so first of all, is this the best way to store this data? In Excel, data is best stored in tables. Are you with me? Data is best stored in tables. What are tables? Tables allow us to have the data in a structured way so that we don't keep using the mouse to select that area over and over again. Are you with me? So let's do this. In order to define this area, we are going to insert a table by standing in a cell, any cell, and then you press Control T, Control plus T together. Stand in any cell. Any cell. Yes, online, is there a question?
Yes, just to hint you that some of us are using Apple, so you can, if you want to teach us certain shortcuts, you can also help us with the Apple ones.
Fantastic. Control T is compatible with Apple.
Okay.
Yes. We'll talk about the Apple issue later. So-
Hi, sorry, I think for Apple it's command. You use the command button.
It's command, right?
Yes, command T.
Command T. Okay, so Control T, Command T, either way. Now, your screen should look like this. Are we here? Don't worry. Don't worry if something comes up today because you have not started. This is topic 0. This is just to expose you to some few things. Please, are you on the same page? Now, click OK. Yes, click OK. Now, you should see that your table has a new jersey. You get the idea? This is what we call tables. This is what I showed here as one of the key things that you need to know. Why is this important? You see, if you are working with data, you don't have to always keep coming back to select the data with your mouse. What the table gives you is a way to name the data you are working with, so that with that name, even if you are not in the worksheet, you can still work with it. Now, if you stand anywhere in the data, you see that a tab here called Table Design has popped up. There's a green tab called Design or Table Design at the top. Have you seen it?
After the hiatus, some of us have now managed to even open it.
You don't worry. If you're having challenges, you observe. In fact, this is your topic 1 next week. So don't worry. If you're able to come along, fine. If you're having challenges, you observe. So table design, are we here? Now, in this table design menu, we are going to name the table, right? Can you see table name in the far left, top left?
We can't see your screen.
Oh, all this while.
I can see.
My screen is live.
It sometimes goes off. It sometimes goes off. That's why. I don't know if you switch on screens or something.
Then that will be a local fault from your side.
Yes.
Please check the internet because people
All
can
right.
see live. Yes.
Yes, some of us can see it clearly.
Okay. Let's make progress. So table name. Can you all see table name? You see the box there is table 1.
Yes.
This is where you give it a name that reflects the content of the data. Are you with me? Because we say it's staff register, let's call it register. So type register in place of table 1. So type register in place of table 1. Are we here? Now, what this means is that at this point, if I want to work with this data, I don't need to bring my mouse and select. Come and stand in M, any cell in column M. Come and stand in any cell in column M. Press enter. And then bring your mouse and come and stand in column M.
No, I asked him the law is asking me to get an access from the request and to negotiate. I don't know.
Okay, I'm coming. Now,
Can you hear me?
are we at M? Okay. Now, do equal to register. You realize that when you do equal to register, the name responds. When you type equal to register, R-E-G-I, you see that register appears in your list of functions.
Yes.
Have you seen that? This is how we work. The name is there. We know it covers this data. So as we are making progress, any analysis we are doing, we call the name. Are you with me? Now, the rule is that anything you see in blue, right now it's in blue, right? Press the tab key. Press the tab. The tab key is before letter Q. Have you seen this? So equal to are you here? So what you are looking at is a table that has been referenced. Tab key, yes. To select or highlight the table, right? So if I'm working, this is how I make progress. This is selecting the entire table. But let's say I want to select a portion of the table, a column of the table. Please type square brackets. Square bracket is after letter P. Square bracket is after letter P. So add square brackets to it. Are we here? What do you see? Thank you. The list of table headers. You will learn that the official name for these table headers are called fields. Are you with me? So fields. Now, commit age. Let's select age. So type AGE. AGE. And then age will also be in blue, right? When it's in blue, what do? You tap, right? So you hit the tab key. Are we here? Then you close your square brackets. Close your square brackets. Which one? Very good. You know, the idea of the preview class is for you to see all your weaknesses before you come to class next week, Saturday. So those whose keys are not working, licensing issues and all those things, please, after today, go and fix them before next week. Okay, are we all in this position? Yeah. Fantastic. Now, what you have basically done is that you have highlighted age. Can you see? In the work we are going to do, this is how we'll be referencing data. So example, if I want to average this age, what I will do is that I can put the function average before it. Bring your mouse and come and stand right after the equal sign. Freddy, are you here?
Hello, Ben. Can
Freddy.
you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so please be on standby for me.
Okay.
Now, is your cursor after the equal sign? Okay, now type average. AVERAGE. So you are typing the average before the register. Average is a function, right? So average, have you seen it? You don't have to type the whole thing. Just press tab. Just press tab if it's highlighted in blue, right? Now you notice that average is now going to average your register age. Are we aligned? At this point, you can press enter or even close the brackets. So close the normal brackets. Right? So equal to average, AVERAGE, open brackets, register, square brackets, AGE, close square brackets, close normal brackets. Are you with me? What this is doing is that it is giving me average age. So when I press enter, 41.65 is the average age here, right? I didn't use the mouse on this, and this activity is sponsored by Excel tables. Okay, so this is just to let you know that a table, first of all, gives us structure. It defines the data that we are going to work with in such a way that even if we don't see the data physically, we can still call the data and some portions of the data to work with. I hope you are aligned. Okay, so first thing, now let's now fix the problems that we identified. First one is this problem, the name and the telephone numbers together, right? And then we will do the other ones. Now, because of time, I would like you to observe as Freddy demonstrates this. These sessions will be your topic 1 next week. But it is important you see what it means to clean data, to manipulate data in Excel, so that when you come prepared. Please, are you with me? So Freddy, please take over and let's go through this quickly. Matilda, your hand is raised. You have a question. I'll take your questions very soon. So Freddy, please share your screen.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. So we've done the age already. Now, can we fix quickly the telephone number and name thing?
Okay, so let's do that together. Because of time, as Bernard mentioned, so I'm going to do that quickly. But I'm going to show you, 2 methods. Okay, to do that. So here we have the telephone numbers and the names together. So we want to separate the two, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to use a technique called flash fill. Okay, so let's do that. So with flash fill, what do we do? When you have data and you would like to give an example to Excel, and Excel is going to use that example and fill the rest for you. So here, as we can see, we have Elekem Cobla together with the telephone number. So we want to extract Elekem in another cell. So Elekem here and Cobla. So this is what we want to extract. So we press enter. And one benefit of a table as well, when you are using the table, is anytime that you add data on the right of the table, that table is going to expand to include the data on your right. So as you can see, I've typed here Elekem Cobla. So if I press enter, let's watch what we get. So you can see that here another column has been added, and the table has expanded to this. So this is the first example that we give to extract the names here. So we've done that. Then to extract it, we are going to use flash field, as I said earlier. So to use flash field, you can either use the shortcuts, or you can come to data here. So after giving the first example, you come to data, then you locate this button here. That is the flash field button. So when you click on that, then you see that Excel is able to interpret exactly what you want to do based on the data on the left here that we have, right? So we can also do same for the telephone numbers. So if this is well understood, then let me quickly move to the telephone number. So here with the telephone numbers, you can see that we have numbers, right? So now with the numbers is a bit tricky. So the technique that we are going to use is that I know that most of you, when you are typing in the telephone numbers and you don't want to lose the zero, you use an apostrophe. So that's the same technique that I'm going to use. So here I'm going to give one example of what I want to extract. That is the numbers. Right? Please, is there any question?
Sorry, please proceed. Somebody was asking that you slow down, but like we said, this is a demonstration class. So don't worry if you're not able to practice along. It's just to show you the things we are speaking about. So just observe the steps that he is going through. And then next week, God willing, we'll take our time and then go through the steps. Please proceed.
All right.
Let us start, the telephone numbers. So to do so, I'll start with the apostrophe, and I'll give an example of the telephone number extracted. So 05591498817. I hope I'm correct with this. So I press enter. So that's an example of the data that I want to extract from this combined data here. So I come here again, flash field, I come to data, and I come to this. Or as I said, there is also a shortcut, and that shortcut is Control E. So I can do Control E here. Then when I do Control E, you can see that it has extracted, the telephone numbers. All right. So that's, the first technique using, flash field.
Okay. So thank you, Fedi. Now, we have actually transformed the data by extracting the name and the telephone number using flash fill. Now, the question is, if this problem occurs every time, let's say every time you spool data from your system, the name and telephone number always come together. Do we always have to do this process? If not, what alternative is there?
Okay. Thank you for this question. So as you can see, this one was manually done, right? And I imagine that we have 100,000, of data to, do every month. So instead of repeating, this process, what we can do is that we can program it. Okay, we can program, this manual process using a feature called Power Query. That will help us to clean our data, okay, make it a bit tidy. So before we even do, as we rightly said, when you have data, you need to have your data in a table format, right? So here we have this data in a table format, and we name it register. So let's also do same for basic salary. Then we'll take the data into what we call Power Query, and we are going to clean the data over there. So let me do this for this data as well. So that's the salary. So Control T to bring the table. Then I also come and name it under table design. So let me name this one basic. So I've also named this one basic. So coming back to the register. So we don't want to repeat the process as we said. So let's take this to Power Query, and let's see what Power Query can do for us. So if you want to take your data to Power Query, you have to have it in a table form, and you come to data, and under data you come to table/range. Once this is loading, it's going to load onto another interface. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, so this is the Power Query interface. So when you bring data into Power Query, okay, later we are going to see that properly in subsequent session. So you have here the apply steps. Okay, so anytime that you do an action, okay, a script is going to be recorded, and that's the script that allows you to not to repeat the process, or let me say rather to repeat the process for you, for you, right? So here we are. So let's come to the name and telephone number. We can see that the two are together, right? So we are going to transform this to separate them. So to be able to do so, you come to transform, and transform, you see split column. All right, so let's see the option that we have here. So you can see that the name starts then followed by the number. So here we are moving from non-digits to a digit. So in the option here, you can see that we have here non-digits to digits. So when I click on this, you now can see that we have the name on one column and the telephone number in another column. So that's the first transformation. So we can name this header here as name, then this one as telephone number. Yeah. So we have these two. Then we can also proceed with the bank account and the bank account number and the bank name here. So now let's look at this data, this particular column here. So in this particular column, if you look through it, you see that we have the account numbers, then followed by a space, then hyphen, then a space, then the bank name, right? So the space, hyphen, and space could be our delimiter. So that's what distinguish the account numbers and the bank name. So we can use that to separate the two. So you come to this, you can come to this side, split, okay, split by delimiter, this first option. And we mentioned that our delimiter is the space, hyphen, and space. So when you come here, you select custom, then you have space, hyphen, space, then you click on OK. And you then realize that you have two distinct columns. So here, this is going to be the account number. So I rename the column. And this is going to be the bank name. We have the account number and the bank name together. And when we're also going through, I was also going through the charts when we asked what were the problems. And I saw that a lot of people mentioned that in branch, okay, we have a lot of empty cells, right? So here we have empty here. So as you can see, we are going to assume that, whatever the name above, okay, so here, HQ here, is mean that anything below HQ is going to be from HQ. So probably there was a system glitch where, it couldn't fill in this one with the HQ, right? Sometimes it happens. So this one too, if you come to branch A, everything under branch A is going to be what? Branch A here. So how do we then make sure this happens? So to do so, you come to the branch and you use the option to fill down. So you come here, fill down here. Then you have this. So this is, a clean data that we can use for our analysis. So after doing this clean data, so we can use it for analysis. So to do so, we can close and load. All right, so close and load. So we come here, close and load too. So you can load it as a table, as a pivot table, pivot chart, or something called a connection that we are going to see in our subsequent session. So here, let me load this one as a table, and then we can compare to what we have, our initial data. So this is the output of the clean data. Any question?
Okay. So, Freddie, thank you. Now, let me put this in context. One of the things that we hope to achieve in the preview class is to show you some of the things that you are going to learn in advance. This is not the normal pace when you come to class. The one that you did with the average is the normal pace. But Freddie is in demonstration mode. Now, what he just demonstrated is how to use Power Query to transform data. What we did is we did it manually, if you like, by creating extended columns, and then we use flash fill to extract the name and the telephone number. But the question is, if you're on a schedule and this problem comes often, can you automate the process? And that is where Power Query comes in. So we use Power Query to fix the same problem so that it doesn't happen. If it happens again on your blind side, Power Query will just execute that fix automatically. So, Freddie, because of time, I think I'll proceed with the rest of the demonstration. Thank you. And then show the rest of the tools that can be used in Excel for analysis. So, God willing, next week, what we are going to do is we are going to take a blank workbook, similar data, and then we'll learn how to correct, calculate, and then do some basic analysis with those tables. That is going to be our topic 1. But it's not only Power Query that can help us with data. In fact, as I mentioned, there is Power Pivot, which helps us connect data from multiple sources. Okay. There is pivot tables. Most of you know pivot tables. Don't worry. If you don't know pivot tables is used for summarizing data. Okay. Then you can use your charts and slices and those things to build a full dashboard. Now, an Excel dashboard looks like this. In fact, if you want to create a dashboard in Excel, a sample dashboard looks something like this. Let me just show you. Do you think this is possible in Excel? Oh, believe. It is possible.
It is possible.
This is a live dashboard, yes. Okay. What's at the end of the journey you are going to be able to build is something like this. Now, the idea is that from that data that you analyze, the raw data, you are turning it into an insightful dashboard that tracks your KPIs, right? So this is like a personal finance dashboard. The income that came in, your expenses, your income broken down by categories and expenses as well, your monthly trend. And these ones are interactive. So I can see only income lines. I can see only expense lines. You get the idea? At the end of the day, this is going to be the objective for your Excel class. To be able to use tables, Power Query, Power Pivot, pivot tables, to build a dashboard that you can use for work. Please, are you on the same page? So this is the content for our Excel class. Again, we are going to start from scratch. Everybody, even if you have not used these tools, we are going to make sure that you are able to come along. So in the end, the architecture looks something like this. You learn about tables, right? You learn about Power Query. You learn about Power Pivot. Power Pivot is used to analyze multiple tables. You learn what a data model is. A data model is just a place where you collect the tables you are analyzing. You learn how to calculate simple sum, average, those calculations that can help you get your insights. Then you learn how to use pivot tables to summarize the data, learn how to use charts and slices, and then you build your interactive dashboard. That is the path for those who are signing up for Excel. I hope you are clear. Very good. So that is for those who are doing Excel. Now, let's switch to Power BI. Power BI was introduced 10 years ago. It's not a recent tool. So if you think it is recent, then you are 10 years late. But no problem. Why is Power BI important? Look at it this way. You see this dashboard that you just saw in Excel? That dashboard can also be built in Power BI. But the advantage with Power BI is that for most organizations, they prefer their dashboards and reports to be in Power BI for collaboration. So if I'm in the finance team or marketing team and I build my dashboard, we all want to use the same version of truth. The Excel version, I can create version 1, version 2, version 3. When I make changes, my team member doesn't get the real updates. That kind of challenge. So because of that, Power BI steps in to make sure that when I build reports or dashboard, I can share and collaborate with my team. Aside that, the visuals are also very nice. It can take a lot of data. I can embed it online in PowerPoint and then even access it as an app on my phone, right? So look at it this way. Power BI builds on what we are able to do in Excel. So it's good to be able to go through the Excel experience and also be able to do same in Power BI. Please, are you on the same page? Now, the tools that you saw in Power BI you saw in Excel exist in Power BI. But we'll go through 5 steps to build our Power BI. We'll learn how to get data, transform it, how to connect tables, how to calculate, how to visualize. These 4 steps. The license you need is free. So please, if you are joining the Power BI class, we'll show you how to download the software. It's free. The Power BI desktop is free. It is only when you finish your work in the desktop and then you join a team, you want to collaborate and publish online, that you buy a license, right? Even that one is after the fact. We'll still show you how to publish. And then you can get insights online and then in your phone or app or something like that. So for our learning journey, we'll go through 5 steps. Extracting data, connecting, calculating, visualization, and publishing. So publishing is the work that you have done offline. You want to now take it online. No, the publishing dissertation thesis is not a this publishing is when you make it available for people to access online, right? It can also be downloaded as PDF if you want. It can be embedded in PowerPoint.
So does it mean your other colleagues also have to install the Power BI?
Yes.
To access the information if you publish it?
Good. Okay. So your other colleague need not install Power BI because what you publish will be accessed online as Power BI service. What you created was Power BI desktop. When you share,
So like that with the dashboard you've created.
exactly. So the Power BI service, go ahead.
So then you have created the dashboard and you want to share it to another department. Right? So then it will be in the server, maybe cloud server, whatever. So you will be making, let's say you make the changes, you can give them access to also make the changes.
Good.
So restrict the changes.
Good.
So anytime you make an input, automatically likes they see.
You're past your class. So you build it in Power BI desktop, then you publish. Then you make it available in something called a workspace. Workspace is where you invite your colleagues to participate in that report you have built. They can access the back end and the front end. The idea is that when you make changes and you update, they also get the updates and they even use it to build other things. I hope you get the idea. Yeah. Now, how does Power BI look like in real life? I'm going to show you an example. This is a Power BI report. Are you with me? This is a typical financial dashboard that is showing us our revenue, our cost of goods, profits, and all that. Okay. It's not only for accountants that can build Power BI. In fact, for salespeople too, they can also build their own Power BI reports. If you like, today there's an election going on, right? At the end of the day, I'm sure everybody will know their smoothness level. You can use Power BI to even build a report for elections. Okay, so this is one old Power BI report that we built on the election, I think in 2020 or so, right? So here, this is a Power BI report that is able to be sliced, right? The thing about Power BI is that the visuals are very neat and interactive. Okay. That's the whole idea. Now, journalists are even embracing data analytics. What are you doing? Sports people are doing data analytics. What are you doing? The point is, whatever role you find yourself.
Hello, Bernard. I can't see what you're sharing. Please. I'm not sure if you're sharing it online, but I can't see it.
Can the rest of you confirm whether you can see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it. Okay, like please check the local settings. Right. So the point is that these can be created and published online. The advantage with Power BI is it doesn't stay offline. Okay. In fact, if you go to our website, one of the recent works we did was Ghana's election, the 2024, right? So what we did is that the Power BI report was embedded in our website. Can you see this? So if you go in here, you can now see the Power BI report load live. Okay, I'm sure we've covered this blue and green election. This is Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is not just going to give you offline reports, but it's also going to give you interactive reports that you can take it online, input it, embed it in websites and all those options. And that is why we say that if you do Excel, it's good, but build the skill and then see what you can do with Power BI too. Now, if you know Excel tables, Excel Power Query, Excel's DAX, Excel pivot tables, how they work, you're almost 50% through. Because when you come to Power BI, it is these skills that become the fundamentals in Power BI. And that's why most people take it together. Because in the end, you are able to build in Excel, you are able to build in Power BI. Right? So it's a demo class, but the idea is to let you see.
So that's what my brother said. When you update,
yes. So right now, if I update this, everywhere, when you are online, you are able to see it in real time.
The good thing about Power BI. I use Power BI. The good thing about it is you work once and then that is it. If updated data comes, you just have to paste it and then you refresh your dashboard and then it's like magic.
Yes, that's true. Thank you for that addition. And that is because of Power Query. You know the thing that Freddie did? Those steps that he mentioned, it's like macros. They record everything you are doing. So if I keep telling people that when you are using Power BI to build something for your job role, aim to do it once. So that once you build the final report and it's approved by your users, new data that is coming in is just being added and refreshed and updated.
Yeah,
Automated. Yeah. That's the whole idea. Yeah. So if you master your Power BI skills, you can apply it to build that report that you've been doing from scratch every month.
Just do it once.
Just do it once.
New data, just populate.
Populate and then you fire away.
I think that's the whole essence, right?
That's the whole idea.
I mean, this is the industrial base. I mean, I'm in the field of, I'm a field officer.
Okay.
Most time we do this. I mean, I want to talk about it. We normally go to the field to collect data.
Mhm.
So I haven't grabbed this. As I'm when every month I'm going to take it. That's for the get my report.
That's the whole idea. So you build your report and dashboard once, and then you can now Power BI connects to many sources. Your data can be in Google Sheets, it can be in Excel folders, it can be in SQL. Anywhere the data is, you can connect it into Power BI so that on the go, it gets refreshed as you make progress. Does it make sense? So that is module 2. Okay. Now let's go to, I'll take your questions. Let's go to module 3, Gemini AI for work. For most of you, that is the new thing. So I'm going to demonstrate a few things that you can do with Gemini AI, and then you'll be able to appreciate why it is important. So if you go to gemini.google.com, here, if you're online, you can type it. So gemini.google.com. I mentioned that this is Google's native generative AI. Are you on the same page? For those of you who do ChatGPT, we know that you have been using ChatGPT to prompt, and then you get your text output. But Gemini can do more. Now, what you have here are tools. So I'm going to build this in 3 layers. The first one is you can use Gemini to do deep research. Deep research means that you are creating a multi-page report with references. And this is not a typical report that when you go, you can verify the source. This can verify the source for you. Are we in the same place? Gemini can create videos. Gemini can use Nano Banana to create images. You can use the Canvas feature, which puts it in a program mode, coding environment to build artifacts for you. And then recently they added guided learning. It's an interactive way to understand any topic. So instead of saying what is photosynthesis and it dumps everything on you, it engages you in a back and forth so that you are able to validate the learning. Are you with me? I know most of you already know how to use prompts and response. But this module is not a prompt and response class. What we are going to do is how do we harvest Gemini for work? The reason we like Gemini is that if you come to Gemini and you do just put what Gemini does is it integrates into your Google Drive. This has a lot of advantages. So if I have kept a spreadsheet, a Word document, a folder, anything that I can use for work, right? I can prompt and bring it here and then use it to work. So we are going beyond just prompting. to how to integrate it in our routine at the office. Now, I'm going to demonstrate something quickly. Because of time, I had a lot of case studies, but in my Google Drive, I have 2 PDF bank statements. So this is how the bank statement looks like. It's a sample bank statement, Finex Bank sample bank statement, August 2019. Okay. And then we have September 2019. This is PDF. What I'm going to do is, I could do this directly in Google Sheets with Gemini, but I'm going to use the regular interface, and I'll come here. The name of the folder is called Sample Bank Statements. So I'll come here and then say at my Google Drive, which means it now integrates into my workspace, and ask it to analyze the folder Sample Bank Statements and share some insights with me. Let's take it from here for starters. Okay, so I'm not prompting blind. I am prompting with a source that sits in my workspace. So I'll commit this, and then you'll notice that it connects into the workspace, and then it's able to read all the PDF files in there. Are you with me? Shares this with me, and then the insights that I need are also here. Can you get it? I'll go ahead and say that combine the data in the 2 bank statements. Okay, so again, it goes into my workspace. Okay, and then it gives me an Excel, which is very important, a spreadsheet output. If we had to do this earlier, we would have to probably go through Power Query. That's our mainstay. But now you realize that it's been able to go in there, pick the PDF notes, and then be able to bring this here. Go ahead.
So this, so the PD, is it exportable to Excel where you can, is it downloadable where you can share the Excel in this section?
Yes. This is now editable and exportable because this is now a spreadsheet output. Now you will notice that as I come here, there is export to sheets, which means that that PDF that would have been difficult for me to scrape is now editable in a structured form. I'll go ahead and then do export to sheets. Okay, it creates that spreadsheet. If I open that sheet, guess what? Gemini is waiting for me there too. Are you with me? So if I come here, you notice that there's a pane here that can now analyze this and then even create some charts and data for me. You get the idea? So we are not going to just be prompting. We are going to use case studies for work. How to write reports, how to create presentations, how to analyze. Even if you are taking it on the face value, this, we can engage something called the canvas, right? And then ask it, wait, I'm typing the ask it, create a presentation with insights from the above data. Now I've activated Canvas. Okay. What I'm expecting is an editable PowerPoint slide. So I'll come here and I'll commit this. Okay. I expect it to go into Canvas mode and then build an editable spreadsheet, sorry, PowerPoint slide. Let's see what it's able to get. So have you seen this? Now it opens the creating slides mode. So think of how you have done this some 2 years ago, scraping the PDF data, taking it to Excel or spreadsheets. In fact, because of time, we could have been able to analyze that raw data in Google Sheets and even build a dashboard from there. Are you on the same page? Then I come here, it's creating my slides. And these slides are not PDF slides. These are editable Google slides that I can even take to PowerPoint and then edit and make a presentation out of. Because when this is done, I can export this to PowerPoint, or what Google calls Google Slides. You get the idea? So I'm going to create these slides. When it is done, when I open it, I can work with it in Google Slides or even bring it into PowerPoint for further analysis. And so here, I'll open this slide. Okay. And when I go there, the first thing I see, which doesn't pop up, is beautify this. Right? So see where we came from, just with folders that are sitting in our Google Drive.
It's creating open.
Yes. Thank you for your attention.
Wow.
You get the idea. So we have researched into not just regular prompting.
How is it difficult to create something that you have to sleep? You have to go. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to listen. You're going to present.
Exactly.
Within a minute, it has been able to create.
Exactly. The world of work is changing. And that is why I'm saying that if your colleague finds out this and you don't know, when you are asking for excuses from your boss, he's done it and presented it. Now, because of time, I couldn't even demonstrate Notebook LM. Notebook LM is an extended capability of Google's Gemini. What it does is that beyond just slides and reports, it can actually create more articrafts like video presentations, mind maps, and all those things. The point is, what we are going to do this season is productivity-based. I'm not going to teach you how to prompt and then get text, but rather we are going to build it around how we work. You get the idea? That is what we are going to learn. So these are the 3 modules that we are going to give you. There are more case studies, but because of time, let me now go into logistics, okay? And then we'll take your questions, okay? So please give me a minute. Okay, now in this last 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is, please, can you see my screen?
No.
Yes, we can.
Where is this? Okay, now we are going to go through the brochure. I know most of you have seen this, but some things may not have made sense.
Show me how you share the screen.
Even how to share the screen. Don't worry, that's bonus for you. Okay, so this is the brochure that we shared. Again, beyond our Excel class and Power BI class, we want to rope in Gemini for work. That for work is very important. Okay. Now, a lot of the things that I have covered I've covered them already. So who we are, our community. So this is Yvonne, this is Osbert. Yvonne is one pillar in our community. She's on the call. Now, this is the content for our Excel class. So day 1, you learn introduction to data. Day 2, understanding Excel tables, managing data with pivot tables, right? So Daniel, Ferdinand, and Na will be taking you through these ones. Power Query, how to use it to correct and transform data so that you don't have to do it every time. You learn how to use Power Pivot to connect multiple tables, how to design dashboards. What are the design principles? When you see a Finex dashboard, you see it. It's not as if there's a way we do it. Color combinations, the theme, and all that. So you learn that. And then the bonus is you also learn how to leverage Gemini to create some of the formulas quickly, right? So that will be the content for the data analytics class with Excel. Then Gemini for work, this is going to be your content. We'll learn how to optimize our workflow with Gemini, clean data with Gemini, content creation, and strategic reporting. There's one case study I left out, how to build a report in just 10 seconds. Imagine creating a full report. You have gone on a journey. You come, HR says, give me a report. You can do 5 bullets. Bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, 4. Gemini will take those suggested bullets and then create a 15-page report for you, right? We'll learn how to do smart projects and task management with Gemini, and then ultimately learn how to create presentations like what you saw. But the case studies are a lot. We have intentionally built them so that it's not just prompting, but you are able to integrate it to your work. Okay. Now, for Power BI, again, we'll learn how to get data, clean it, transform it, build calculations, learn how to communicate insights, not just build charts and reports. Okay. And then you publish your report online. So that will be for the Power BI class, right? So we have done it such that you can do all 3 modules if you want. The way we've done it, the Power BI class is in the morning, Excel is at 11, and then the AI class is at 2. So if you want, you can take it all. If you want to pick 2, do 2, you can do 2. You get the idea. Now, for the subscription plan, today is the deadline for the early bird discount. So please, if you want to take advantage of the 10%, please take advantage of it now. 2,000 for 1, 3,500 for 2, and then 5,000 for all 3. So please, this has been the price for the last 2 years. We are not applying inflation. So we are in a good space. Compared to some of the charges I've seen there, I think this is good value. Now, let's talk about the timetable. So for the timetable, as I mentioned, the first class is going to be Power BI. And that is going to be from 8:30 to 10:30. Please come on time. It's not 9 o'clock. It's only today that we are starting at 9 o'clock. But the Power BI class, 8:30, you are seated, and then we start learning. Are you on the same page? So 8:30 to 10:30, 2 hours. We'll take a break, 15 minutes to stretch. Then you have a 30-minute break. Then you go to your Excel class from 11 to 1. Are you with me? So those who are doing the 2, you have the opportunity to do that 11 to 1. Then you have a 1-hour break after, and then you come and do Gemini for work 2 to 4. Right? So we are doing this for 7 Saturdays starting next week. Today doesn't count. Right? So starting next week is 7 Saturdays. Please ensure that you are able to come every session, because I'm going to talk about that very soon. The content that we create is recorded and then made available to you. But it will be good that in that content, your questions were in there. Don't just rely on the playback videos. Come to class, ask your questions, and let's create the content together. I hope you are with me. So the way Yami was asking the questions and all those things, hear yourself. Now, this was my question, and they answered it. Otherwise, people will ask the questions and create the content for you. Are you with me? So we like you to be here in person and online. Okay. Then the rest, you've met all of us. Now, let me quickly talk about the classroom, and then I'll take your questions. Everybody is going to be admitted to a Google Classroom. We've used it since 2019, as I mentioned. So if you sign up starting from Monday, we'll give you your Google class code. Okay, this is an old class. This is season 9. Season 9 was way back. So I'm using that to demonstrate. So when you enter your classroom, you will see your classwork. right? So your classwork and everything will be nicely curated. Resources, PDFs, everything that you need is here. So maybe this is topic 1. It will be there before the class starts. So if you get your class code, you go into your respective class. So if you have signed up for 3, you get 3 class codes for each of the subjects. When you go in there, you see the stream. Have you seen this stream? This stream is a tab in your classroom. When it's time for the class, we are not going to send you a link. This stream is what you use to join the class. It's a permanent button. Please, are you with me? So what is important is you get the class code and you enter the classroom. That's all. At 8:30, you are on standby, you go, you connect, and then you join us live. As I mentioned, you can copy the link of the stream and then send it to yourself on WhatsApp so that you use that link to access it via your mobile phone, which will give you access to the video feed. We don't want your laptop to be interrupted because you'll be working with your full screen laptop. So we are encouraged to get, if you use your live phone and then put it on Do Not Disturb so that every call that comes through doesn't disturb you. Or if you like, those who have HD and smart TVs, you can project us on the TV and then have access to your laptop for practice. In fact, we have done this for years. It works for those who want to join online. If you want to come in person too, we are happy to see you in person at East Legon. So when you come here, in between the classes, we give you snacks and water so that you don't burn out. Okay. If you are home too, you do the snacks at home. Okay. So everybody has a style of learning. We've made provision for that, right? So starting next week, Saturday, for all those who have committed, please expect your class codes. Join your classrooms before Saturday. So when we sit on Saturday, we expect that everybody is ready. Are we aligned? Okay, thank you. So I'll drop the presentation now, and then in the next 5-10 minutes, we'll answer every question, and then we'll round up and then proceed with next steps. So if there are any questions, kindly proceed. Thank you. Lawrence. Yes, Lawrence, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Lawrence, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, with data security and all that, some companies have policies around how you use AI for work because of the fact that they think the AI engine is going to harvest sensitive information. Will there be kind of a content to address that, to how to safely kind of work in Power BI, Gemini, and all those generative AI tools without feeling as if
okay,
the data
it's
is
a very good question you've asked, and I'm happy you brought it up. Now, truth is that even though AI is exciting, we need to also have a certain consideration for privacy. Some companies have clear rules on how to commit company data. There are ways around it. You can anonymize the data and then just get what you are looking for and then fill in, even though that is not foolproof. I know that for Microsoft, the enterprise licenses provide a certain shield that guarantee that your data will not be used for learning and all those things. I'm not too sure, but I think Google also has an enterprise workspace that also provides a filter so that your data is not used for learning. Truth is that we are going to cover privacy and how to ensure that you don't expose your organization to too much and make your organization's data vulnerable. It's part of the topics that we'll cover. So I'm happy you brought this up. All these demonstrations I did it with my personal account. We have an official Finex account that uses Google Workspace with all the filters. So if you are coming to this class, the expectation is come and learn how to do it. Then later apply your company policy on how to use these AI tools properly. So yes, it's something that we have as part of our course content on how to manage privacy and security. Thank you for bringing that up. Elvis.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Elvis, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Bernard. It's great to be back. Thank you. I can see BC on the call. It's nice to have the team. Yeah.
Yes, good to have you too. So Elvis is an old student. Truth is that our old students come back when new things are introduced. So it's not only new students you see here, it's a mix of our regular good guys. So Elvis, thanks for passing through. Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, why Gemini and not Copilot?
Good question. Truth is that we've done co-pilots in the previous season. The challenge with co-pilot is the license.
Oh, okay.
As I speak now, even though Excel Agent, which is a very fantastic addition. Now, Excel Agent is actually able to even build things in your spreadsheets. Instead of giving you text outputs, it can build models, create schedules, and all those things. It was working, and then for some reason, EU servers are no more. For some reason, it's not available now. They say it's going to be available very soon. We are praying that it is made available very soon, so that for those of us in Africa, we can have access to co-pilots and the agents. So we will do co-pilot again when we are clear that everybody is able to access the license. But for now, we believe that Gemini is easily accessible. In fact, the AI Plus, if you want the license, is 30 cedis a month. Yes.
Yeah, I only asked because the tools you'll be using, Excel and Power BI, so I was thinking maybe it would have been using the native AI, but I can understand your reasoning, so it's fine. Thank you.
Yes. So even with that, what we'll do is that we can still use Gemini to generate the DAX formulas, the visualization as support, and then import it into Power BI and Excel. It's part of the course content. In the future, the hope is that Copilot will now become generally available so that for native Microsoft users, you don't have to probably go back and forth. But trust me, Gemini also has its own advantages. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yes, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Hi, Bernard. Hi, everyone. Bernard, thanks for a comprehensive introduction. I'm just asking for a friend. What version of Excel do we need in order to follow the class? Do we have to have 365 or
okay,
do we use it?
Okay, so thank you for that. Now, what version of Excel do you need? Please, this class requires, if you are going to be very considerate, 2016, even that one with asterisk. So 2016, 2019, 2021, Microsoft 365, all these will work. So please, between now and next Saturday. Well, Finex can help you, but we will give you the modern one, which you have to pay. We'll give you the Microsoft 365 subscription. That one is the latest version. What we do is that you come as groups of 5 and then sign up for the family version. So in the past, 5 members will come and then you pay, currently it's around 300 cedis, so 350 cedis a year, right? It's something that we would manage and create people who are interested in getting the latest Microsoft 365. So if you come together, you can get Microsoft Family. You pay around 350 cedis a year and then have access to all the latest Copilot, Python, dynamic arrays, Power Pivots, all those ones are present. So yes, we make provision for that. We don't do the crack version, right? But if you have a desktop version, then 2016, because it was 2016 that Power Pivot and Power Query were embedded. 2013, you have to use them as add-ins. It doesn't help us. So 2016, 19, 21, 365. Those are the versions that we require for this class. Thank you. Christopher. Christopher, are you muted?
Can you hear me now, Bernard?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you, and nice to meet you all. I work with both qualitative and quantitative data. So I'm a bit curious how the Power BI, the dashboards, how I'm going to translate qualitative data.
Okay. So if you come to the class, you do Power Query case studies. In fact, one book cannot exhaust all the possible transformations you can do with Power Query, because Power Query is an engine. It is able to transform qualitative and quantitative data if you approach it right. In fact, on our YouTube channel, we've done a sample video on how to use qualitative data with Power Query. So just to answer the question directly, it is possible. So come and learn the fundamentals and then apply it to some of these specific case studies. In truth, in the 7 sessions, we may not be able to cover every case study, but you would understand how the engine and features work so well, so that when you go back to the office, you can apply it to your own work. So it is possible, Chris, to use quantitative and qualitative data in Excel and Power BI. Right. Harriet.
Yeah, Bernard.
Yes.
I want to suggest that if the Excel class can be in the morning and Power BI, some of us are interested in the two. You said Power BI is a build up on your Excel. And if your Excel is not that good, how can you do Power BI before? So I'm asking just a request that can do Excel in the morning, then Power BI, at least you have a fair idea.
Okay, so let me clarify. I said Excel, Power BI is a build up on Excel, not in the sense that you have to finish Excel class before you come and do Power BI. Do this. Power BI can also be learned as a beginner.
Okay.
So we are going to start from scratch. If you look at our previous sessions, in our first class in Power BI, we actually spent some time in Excel. Right? Because we do that because we know that most people are conversant with the Excel worksheets. So typically, our Power BI class is normally an Excel class, because we know that there are people who are doing Power BI only. If you are doing the two, it helps. But if you are doing Power BI only, or you are doing the two, we don't make any assumptions. The first class is to prepare everybody. And then once you get that foundation, we take you along. So Harriet, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
If Power BI class starts, you will be doing Excel in the early days, and then we'll transition from there.
So it will be a waste of money in case I sign for Excel and Power BI at the same time.
Not at all. In fact, that will be a good investment, because you have 2 case studies to reference from.
Okay.
So don't worry. Every class will start from scratch.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Bernard. My question, I think somebody asked earlier on that those of us who are using Mac, at times maybe we don't have a direct link to whatever you are doing, because I realized when we're going to query the data, the man went to the data and the transformer couldn't get it. So we advise that you have those alternatives to other. Yes, if you're using the MacBook, this is what you do so that we can follow quickly. That's my comment.
Thank you for reminding. Now, here's a challenge. Mac and the BI tools in Microsoft do not agree, unfortunately. Microsoft is working on it. So they've made progress. Now, even though Mac cannot do Power BI desktop, they can do Power BI service. Very soon, we are hopeful that Mac can do Power BI desktop. The same thing is, even though Power Query exists in Mac, it has a certain limitation, unlike the Windows version. So this is what we have done in the past for our Mac students. There is a software called Parallel, which is used to bring in the Windows environment, right? So if you're a Mac user, please reach out to me. I'll leave my WhatsApp. The number you've been interacting with is the WhatsApp number. Reach out to me. I'll connect you with one of our old students who use Mac normally to go through the process by installing the Parallel. You reach out to him and then he'll give you guidance on how to bring in that installation. Well, that installation will just make Mac behave in a certain window, like you are using Windows, so that you can have access to that. But if you also have an alternative Windows laptop too, you can bring that along. But anyhow, please, you'll be able to learn.
Okay, if that option is there, that's fine, because I use Parallel Windows too. But I was thinking that if I could just do it with Act Direct, but if I can just, I have the Parallel that I use, even though the subscription is, but then I have to go back and update it. So,
okay, so you don't have a problem then. So
yeah,
yes, so you are conversant with Parallel. So let's activate Parallel, and then everything will work fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Right. So I think we've exhausted all the questions. Thank you so much for your time. We have our old students here with us. Normally, what we do is we let them give us a shout. What is it? Shout out. So I can see Kerry is here, Bernard Ricketts. I'm not able to mention all your names. BC, Kelvin, Gilbert, all of you, Hillary, guys, thank you so much. You see, the idea is for Finex, we build a community. If you learn, you don't go. You come and then you also join the community and then you benefit. So we are really grateful for all the time you spend with us and the support. And the new students too, please, when you come, stay, because there are new things that we always give you. So I'll end the recording, and then this recording will be made available tomorrow. So if you missed any parts or there are gaps in there, you can use it to practice. Thank you so much, and we'll see you. So the WhatsApp platform is, for this cohort, we'll be reaching out to you with a broadcast. When you graduate, then we'll add you to the WhatsApp group. So you'll be getting information through a broadcast, right? So that's how we do it. When you graduate, then we'll admit you to our WhatsApp group. So you'll still be updated, right? So thank you so much, and wishing you the best of the rest of the weekend. Next week, we'll start session 1, topic 1 for each of the classes. So please finalize your registrations, and then let's be ready before next week. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.